All right, we got GitHub set up. Now it's time to get Hermes set up. Okay, so this is a great thing. I on my other in Pixel World, I have OpenClaw set up. Never done Hermes. Should be the same sort of setup, but we're going to give it access to the entire staging VPS. So let's get started. So we're good with GitHub. We got our SSH keys working. Hermes should not push to main. We know that. Hermes should just be pushed to staging, or should be pushing to staging. Operate messaging gate. This official install flow is curl base. Okay, so let's start by creating these. I'm gonna go ahead and go to these folder structures. Pixel, and then we'll set up these guys. Do workspaces, secrets, and we'll put some protection on that. Okay. AI provider configure. We should have one provider key. Okay, so make sure, we're going to have to give this guy a brain. So we're going to need a key, an API key to have Hermes work. I'm going to try a subscription. I'll ask ChatGPT in a little bit how to do that, but you can do any API setup. But we'll go into that. Okay, so we're going to go into Hermes. We're going to curl this bad boy. And then let's do that. Okay, this tells us the installer temp Hermes. Yes. What is all? Oh, this is just all the. That's it. Okay, so exit. Q. I just pressed Q to exit that. Let's see. Okay, so it's installing. Okay, so now I've never done this before, just like what I said. So I'm going to feed this to ChatGPT, see what it says. Let's see what it says. Check Node.js for browser tools. Node.js not found. Installing. Okay, so choose yes. Okay. Password. Put in your password. Oh. Okay. That starts going. After it finishes, we'll fix this warning. Okay. So we'll let all those dependencies run. Okay, so once you get to this screen, I'm going to put this in. Now, I want to use my OpenAI subscription for the brain. Is that possible, and how? So essentially, I want to use ChatGPT subscription that I have, and I want to see if that's possible with Hermes. I believe it is, but I want to know the steps. Hermes can use OpenAI as the brand, but not your ChatGPT directly. Your ChatGPT Plus subscription is the API usage bill separate through. Okay, so it looks like you have to do an API key, which is fine. And I think I'm going to use Kimmy since I can't use the subscription. Kimmy is really good, super intelligent, and it's fairly inexpensive. Billing payment on the OpenAI platform. API keys, create new secret key app. So we'll do quick setup. Okay, and then I'm gonna just give it all of this. Oh, there is OpenAI Codex, Kimmy, which is what I may use. OpenAI option and Hermes is an important distinction. OpenAI Codex with ChatGPT line may use your ChatGPT plan access. Can we do that? OpenAI API uses. So since you said not custom, okay, so go down. I'm gonna blur this, but just do your login to connect it, and then we'll unblur it after. Okay, once you're logged in, then just pick your model. I'm gonna pick 5.5. Select terminal backend. Okay, so we got local, run directly on your machine, Docker, isolate container with configurable resources, modal, serverless cloud, sandbox, run on a remote machine. Now, I'm probably going to do local. I did Docker with OpenClaw, but I want to give Hermes access to the entire VPS. But I'm going to ask ChatGPT to see what's best. I want Hermes to have full access to the staging machine. Should I just pick local? And then for your goal, local is the right choice because you want Hermes to operate on the staging VPS directly. That gives Hermes access to the Vox user to run it as Vox. That gives it strong access but not unlimited. Okay, so isolation first, but adds complexity because we need to mount. Yeah, for your current goal, Hermes can control the stage man. Okay, yeah. So, like I said, with my Pixel World platform, I have OpenClaw set to it's in a Docker container, and so it doesn't have access to everything. Now that's super safe. I've been messing with that, and there's a lot more that you have to step through to give it variables, all that kind of stuff. This one, because I've trusted OpenClaw so much with that setup, I really want to try this environment with Hermes having full access, but it's just staging variables and all that. And it'll be a good test for the future. So I'm gonna go with local. I'm gonna say for this, I'm gonna skip for later. Right now, I'm gonna just message it through its own local access and set up a subdomain afterwards. Uh, if I may do a video on this later to show how you set up the messaging, but for now, I'm just gonna say skip. Okay, and then we'll launch. Yes. All right, sweet. So let's see. Hermes agent, type your message or help for commands. Now, there should be a way of opening like a dashboard. I'm going to give this to, all right, it's installed. Is there a dashboard I can chat with Hermes? Okay, so we'll see what ChatGPT says. And then we'll open up a dashboard, hopefully, and then we can speak to it there and then configure it. Okay, so I'm opening up a new terminal. I'm going to, I want to use the dashboard. So that's the command to set up the dashboard. And then you got to do an SSH in and sort of tunnel into there to then access that dashboard locally. So copy this. You're going to do it from a PowerShell on your computer, and then you change the IP. So open up that PowerShell, paste that, and then grab your IP. Okay, so then once you have that, you should just be able to copy this. Boom. And we got our setup. Okay, so now I have this and then I have the dashboard. Okay. So I have the dashboard up and the Hermes command setup. Should we set up Hermes first? Soul files and everything. All right, so what we'll need to do is configure what we want Hermes to be. Essentially, the Soul file. I'm assuming that it's the same as OpenClaw. Is identity operating rules before it gets tests. Yes. Okay. Sold as the global identity file. For instance, it's meant for tone. Set up Hermes global Soul on the VPS Nano. Add repo specific agent.md files. Each important repo should get an Agents.md. Start with okay. Give Hermes a safe first task. Then test Git branch behavior. Okay. So we'll do Soul file. Now I'm wondering if you can do that in here. Let's see. Or let's just ask it. Hey, Hermes, can we set up your Soul file? Okay, so I'm going to just ask and see what it has to say. Because since it is operating and has control, maybe it can set it up. I may use, okay, so it's saying it has a baseline. Now I want to control what it's going to be. So I'm going to hit other. I'm going to type below. Now I'm going to have ChatGPT um, uh, rewrite sort of my soul from Pixel World for this. So I'm going to grab that. Okay, so I basically copied my soul file from Pixel World, and I want to augment it to this because it works really well with OpenClaw. And I'm essentially saying build with Pixel. It's going to be my founder and partner. It is an agent that helps users build infrastructure to create custom AI agents and apps and platforms. And I'm going to type this out. I'll sort of fast forward this, but I want to give ChatGPT it to create this whole file, and then I'll give it to Hermes. Okay, so I created, as you can see, I created within opt pixel temp. Because this dashboard's a little bit different than OpenClaw, we'll figure that out later, but I'm going to create a file, nano soul.md. I'm going to paste my soul information that I want in there. Now, save it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Hermes, look at opt pixel temp, then the soul.md file. Use that, but give yourself your own name. My name is Julian, and your partner in the future will be Vox. OpenClaw. Then tell me your name. Okay, so I'm gonna have a look at that file, take it, replace the Vox name with what name he wants to be called, and then him tell me his name. So let's see what it does. Okay, so he said that he's done. Atlas, I like it. That's a cool name. Okay, so took out user Julian. All right, cool. I found and used Soul. I installed an active Hermes file. I made two intentional changes. My name is now Atlas. Is your future OpenClaw partner again, so I won't claim to be Vox. I also required the unfinished code fence at the end of the source file. Okay, sweet. Awesome. Pleasure to meet you, Atlas. Do we need to restart before moving forward? Okay, let's see what it has to say. Oh, did I write the wrong thing? Oh, it said pleasure to meet you too, Juliana, and it's Atlas, not at last. No restart needed for the soul, and Hermes loads for new, so we can move forward now. Reset is only needed for things like tool set changes, some config changes, gateway changes, code changes to Hermes itself. For this identity persona, we're good. Awesome. So now I want to tie the GitHub branches to different agents. So GitHub storage is default. Okay, so it came back. ChatGPT came back saying to set up the agents like this, basically saying, "Hey, these are the repos, the rules of the repos, and it's gonna set up a file in there that the agent will read." Now, I want to augment this a little bit, so can we augment it and say for the agents can push to staging. They don't need to create a features branch unless asked. Um, we need to give descriptions to Hermes about the repos and what they are for. Rules for branch security. After creating the file, show me a summary of what change the commands I should run to review the diffs. Commit locally only if the repo has changes and the commit is safe. Do not push. Use this commit message. Then can we update this? Okay, so I'm essentially saying, hey, it's okay if the agents push to staging. Don't push to main. I want ChatGPT to also give a description of what each of these are so that Atlas knows. So we'll go through. Let's see. It's a private customer course repo for BuildWithPXL. It contains reusable scripts, docs, templates, Next.js starter. Perfect. Users who pay with may receive access to this repo. The repo should be clean, educational, reusable, and safe. Never include real tickets. Only include perfect. Infra. This is internal infrastructure repo. Contains VPS setups. Okay, perfect. Hermes, this is repo contains the Hermes Atlas agent runtime setup. Perfect. App. This is what we build the actual site on. N8N workflows. Make a repo governance file. So let push only to dev stage and then we can review. Okay, so I'm going to give this. Okay, and then within here, I'm going to create nano agents.md. Paste it in there. Control O. Control X. Atlas. Can I keep saying Atlas? Atlas, can you look at the temp folder for a file called Agents.md? Read it and do a setup for the agents for the repos. Let me know when you are done and what you have done. Okay, so it's going to read that file and then come back and tell me what it did. Okay, let's see what he came back with. I read Soul agents. Then I created repo level agents file for all the target repos. What I set up in each agent's repo purpose and audience, branch policy, global agents, approved working branch, notes for Atlas communication, branch plus commit status, add repo agent instruction, uncommitted changes for all of them. The repos had no commits yet on main, so I created the approved working branches locally. Starter kit dev, everything else staging. Sweet. I committed locally only. I did not push because the instructions say that if a required branch does not exist and I create it, what just happened? Okay, I don't know what caused that, but I just pressed tab and it stopped. I'll have to look into that, whatever causes that. Okay, so committed locally, I should ask before pushing the newly created branch. I also set repo local git identity in each repo so commits can work. Sweet. Review commands for all repos. To inspect one agent's commit. Approve pushing the new branch. The commands could be. Okay, let's set those commands and do our first push and see if it goes through. All right, so I'm gonna have them push. I'll check GitHub. I'll see if those files are there, and then if they are, then that's great. Okay. Now he came back and he said, Dungeon, first what happened? There was an issue. It fixed it, but it pushed. And what we could see is when we go to our repos. So if I go to GitHub and I go to repositories, let's just check app. So if I go to staging, and you could see that there has been a push or commit to staging, and it's asking to compare. So in staging, we have a new Agents.md file, and so it pushed all of this, which is phenomenal. So it's able to push to staging, which will be great. And then what will happen is once we get into our app where we were, we can tie that with Cloudflare, and on a commit to staging, it will auto build through Cloudflare, and then that's when we can look at our site through staging and all that, which is awesome. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we're gonna say, okay, Atlas was able to push to GitHub and commit um, to the staging branch with everything. Now, what should I tell it to do? We have our startup script for bootstrapping. We have infra, Hermes runtime, and app setup. No NAN workflows just yet. What should we tell it to do to get these populated? We can hold off on app and NAN. App we will do when the others are good. Okay, so basically I'm telling ChatGPT, hey, we got it populated. It was able to push. Now, what should I say for Hermes runtime, infra, and starter kit? Starter kit's going to be for build with Pixel. So that's going to be like core structure and things that I can give users whenever they sign up to get them baseline started to get them going. Um, I'd focus on these 3-star kit and okay, hold off on, yep, paste this. Okay, so okay, inspect these. We're not working on the app repo yet. Goal, populate the foundation repo so build with Pixel can has a clean internal infrastructure repo, clean Hermes runtime repo. Global rules. Do not read, print, copy, modify. Yeah. Purpose, internal build with Pixel infrastructure operations repo. Populate it with README, Bootstrap, yeah, scripts, Docker, Nginx, docs. Okay, cool. Real existing scripts from where appropriate, but sanitize anything that should not be public or reused blindly. The infra repo is internal, but still do not include secrets. Great. Okay, starter kit, private customer course repo for build with Pixel users. Populate it. Scripts, Bootstrap base, Docker, compose examples, Supabase, docs. Beautiful. Make this repo educational reusable. Do not include internal only references that would confuse users. All right, so I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to temp, and I'm gonna do nano update repos.md. Gonna paste all of that. Remove the temp.md in the repos. That was just for initial repo build. Control O, save, Control X. And then here, Atlas, can you look at the update repos.md file in temp and follow its instructions? Okay, and then what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to figure out a way to not do that, where I have to create a file, have it read it, then do it. I'll have to figure out the dashboard, because the dashboard's set up similar. It's got like a terminal set up, and I can't see what I'm pasting in there, so I don't want it to if I paste a bunch, it to miss something. The same with here. So we'll have to figure that out. But we'll let that process and then see what happens. Okay. So it went through, found my file that I wrote, updated all the staging. So let's check staging. Let's go to those two weren't done. Let's do runtime. And then if we go to staging, look at that. Everything updated, Hermes install, provider setup. All right. Okay, so that's all set up. Now, I don't like this whole me typing here bit. So I'm going to try something. I want to use this dashboard. So this kind of stuff. So I'm going to give it a link. I'm going to see if it can do everything by itself. It'll be a good little test. Hey, Atlas, I want to update you to where you use this dashboard. Keep in mind, we want your runtime updated just in case we need to revert, etc. Can you get this all set up for me? And then tell me how to tunnel and view the dashboard. All right, so send it to the link. Let's see if it can look at it, see what it needs to do, update staging, and then get it installed and see if we're able to update the dashboard so we don't have to be looking at the terminal like this. All right, let's see what it said. I set up Hermes Web UI, updated Hermes runtime, so we have rollback setup nodes committed. Installed it. Current checkout's running on bound to your local host. No secrets were printed. It's currently running. So I need to tunnel in. So let me do that. Let me go to the correct. Which one's my local? 1 second. I'm going to try this one. Take this. You're going to change your server host or IP. And then open this. I'm going to wait for it to actually connect. Let's see if that works. Oh, boom. Okay, so the other shell. Okay, cool. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. Master 11 updates. I mean, I guess update now, huh? Let's see. All right. So now, let's put this to the side. Let's look at this. Chat, tasks, Kanban, skills. Okay, all skills, memory, spaces, op pixel repos. Cool. Profiles. Okay. To-dos, insights, logs. Okay, well, let's just see. Hey, Atlas, can you tell me what we just did? And then we have default. Oh, okay, we got profiles, different work trees. We have our, okay, so you can configure your other models. Pretty sweet. Okay. And then, yeah, that shows how much. Okay, so let's see what he said. What did we just do? We just finished setting up Soul, Atlas, identity, and operating rules for the environment from the recent session. Defined me as Atlas. Anchored my role around helping you build, debug, document, and ship AI infrastructure safely. Captured the build with Pixelworld mission, teaching real production-oriented AI systems. Documented the core, set strong rules around secrets, hygienes. Vox is your future open cloud partner agent while I am Atlas, not Vox. Added durable memory so I remember the key facts and a preference for secret. Man, we gave Hermes a proper operating identity safe model. Look at that. All right. So now, what moving forward, like right now, we have to just tunnel in. So remember what you do locally through the PowerShell of tunneling in and then accessing this locally. Now, that's super safe, of course. In the future, I'm going to want to access it from like my phone. So what we could do is set up either a subdomain, put some rules on it, like a zero trust, so that only you can log in, and lock it down. But then you can access it from everywhere. But just be careful. You never want people to get that login information. You don't want prompt injections, all that good stuff. But we got Hermes set up. This is pretty sweet. So the next thing we'll do is on the next episode, we'll start setting up our app. So I'll set up the base Next.js framework for Cloudflare. We'll tie it to GitHub. And then whenever Hermes commits, it will go to GitHub staging. We'll set up a custom domain based off our domain, and then whenever it's committed, it will build, and then we could see the site through our staging window or link. Cool. All right. Well, that was great. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.